Okay, Pickle. I'm going to toss you the ball. You're calling ISO. Yeah, she's like, I'm just coming over here. I'm flexing the arm to show the screen. I'm just going to stand here and show the screen. We go live to the producer's desk for a very special edition of Friday Fun with Ashley Pickle. Take it away, Ashley.
Yeah, so you did your top 10 mascots during our 1000th episode.
I did.
I did not chime in on mine, so yes, I totally walked into this one yesterday. But
you sure did. This was a mistake on your part.
Yeah, it was, because this is difficult.
Well,
I tweeted about it because it not only, it's hard enough to narrow it down to, 10 really good mascots. It's really hard to put them in order. That's the tough part. The other thing is, too, I did ones that they were the only ones that had it, which makes it even more difficult because there are a couple, like the Sharks, for example. I think the Sharks, great mascot, but there's 2 or 3 schools that have the Sharks.
Sabine Pass, Alvin Shadow Creek.
One
There's one more.
Didn't realize that there were 2 of is the Sandies. Amarillo and Grapeland. I was real upset about that one because
if you want to get real technical,
they're the Golden Sandies.
It is technically Amarillo is the Golden Sandstorm.
Oh, okay.
Technically.
Okay.
But nobody calls them that. They call them Sandies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you're right that if you want to be true to the spirit of the
I didn't want to say the Shadow Creek Sharks are better than the other Sharks, and it's why?
Can I run back my top 10?
Yes, please do. Real fast.
Here are my top 10. Number 10, the Foxes of Caddo Mills. Number 9, the Goats of Grosbeck. Number 8, the Armadillos of San Saba.
Armadillos!
Number 7, the Golden Cranes of Crane. Number 6, the Blizzards of Winters. Number 5, the Pied Pipers of Hamlin. Number 4, the Wampus Cats of Itasca. Number 3, the Apollos of Houston Sharpstown. Number 2, the Punchers of Mason. And number 1, the Plowboys of Roscoe. Those were my top 10.
Nice. I like it.
Okay. Do we share any?
Yes.
Okay.
There are a couple.
Okay.
But not many. Okay, so we will.
Okay.
We will.
Do you need me to announce number 10? Ready?
Number 10, the Little River Academy Bumblebees. They are the only Bumblebees.
So this is interesting because
it is. It's a wild card.
First of all, I like it. First of all, shout out to that yoked Bumblebee.
That's my favorite part of it.
Yes.
He's swole.
Very good. Here's another thing. Now this is interesting about the Bumblebees. There are some other schools in Texas that use bumblebees.
Okay.
But I'm going to allow this because, for example, I believe that Stephenville, who is the Yellow Jackets, I believe their girls' team is like the honeybees or the.
Okay.
Or there are sometimes, you know how sometimes some schools have for example,
Mason, the punchers
and
the
cowgirls.
cowgirls. Yeah.
And then I believe that Hereford, which is the herd, I want to say them, which is or there's some team that the mascot's a cow. And the girls' mascot is like the Warriors, something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll think of that. But okay.
Yeah, you don't want the lady cows or the lady heifers.
Yeah, that's you don't want that.
It's probably a little insensitive.
Yeah, it's a little tough. But okay, number 10, the Little River Academy Bumblebee.
I like this. I like the swollenness of it. I also like that so many schools are the Yellow Jackets, and they went with something different. It's basically the same thing, but it's different.
Zig
swole Bumblebees.
Okay, ready?
Big one on that.
Number 9.
I went with the Winters Blizzards.
Shout out. Shout out Freddie Keene.
I think it's great. Yeah.
Again, I'm of the belief that if you have this gift of a great town name or school name,
to pair it up.
Lean in. Lean in.
I like the alliterations where they start with the same, and then something like this where it's handed to you. Take the bait.
Although I've got to be honest, a little bit insensitive considering the last couple of weeks here in Texas.
Yeah.
But okay, that's fine. We'll overlook that.
Typically, we can get over this.
That's it.
It's a little soon.
Shout out Matt Stepp. It's Bridgeport. Bridgeport's the Bulls,
Uh-huh.
but the girls are the sissies. So
okay.
there you go.
Okay,
right.
There we go.
Number 8.
The San Saba Armadillo.
Very good. We have an exact same spot. Yes.
I feel like it's great. You know, it's Texas. I like how Texas that is.
Uniquely Texas. I'm sure there are armadillos in other states, but this feels like the only one that matters.
It makes sense.
So shout out San Saba. Number 7.
Had to go with Texas City on this one.
Very good.
Had to go. I think it's crazy unique. Like, it's just great. The logo itself is great. The
stingeries are great.
Like, the fact that, it's not necessarily like stingray. Like, it's different. It's unique. It's awesome. I love it.
Very good. And I also think what I like about that is it reflects, it's reflective of, like, the community, because the community's on the coast. And so, like, you have some places where, like, it would not make any sense out in Odessa for them to be the stingrays.
Absolutely
right?
not.
But in a place like Texas City, it's like, oh, yeah, that tracks.
It makes sense.
Very
good.
Number 6.
Had to go with the Huddle Hippos. Had to be on there at some point.
That was the one, if I remember correctly, that was the one that I caught the most flack for not including in my top 10. But it's great. It's classic, and the story behind it's great too. Have you ever heard the story? It has something to do with like there was a train that derailed near there and was carrying circus animals, and there was like a hippo that went through the town.
No.
If I remember correctly, it has something to do with that. So
we gotta get Coach LaPlante on here to confirm that at some point. He'll hop on.
All right. We're running through the top 10 Ashley Pickle Texas high school football mascots, and we've reached number 5.
This one's a little bit of a homer pick.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
The Battling Billies.
Very good. Fredericksburg.
Which I hate. I'll be honest. I hated playing Fredericksburg when I was at Llano. So part of me, it was a little bit tough to pick this, but the fact that, the Battling gets me.
Yes, it's very good. The Battling Billies, they're Billy Goats. That's very, very good. I like that. I like that very much. So, good job. Number 4.
Under the radar, in my opinion. Springtown Porcupines.
Love
it.
Very good.
I think it's very unique. It's intimidating without being scary. Also, look at that thing.
Yes. Brian Hewlett, the coach at Springtown, did a great thing a couple years ago when he brought back, they had these old school helmets that have just like what do they call them? The pines?
Yeah.
The tines? That's the needles, basically. And it was like the needle helmet. It looks so cool. Yes.
I did look up that because I wanted to get the logo correct because their other logo says like Pojo on it.
Yeah, So they are Pojo in the same way that
Mojo.
Permian is Mojo.
Okay.
Very good. And in fact, if you go to their beautiful stadium out there in Springtown, it's just Pojo in the middle of the field. So
very cool. But I wanted to show the actual porcupine itself.
Into the top 3 we go with number 3.
Another similarity. This one's way higher on my list. The goats.
Yep. You got 2 goats on here.
I do.
2 goats in your top 5.
I do.
Okay.
All
right, big goat energy over
here. Big goat energy.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. Look, I it made my top 10, obviously. The
also alliteration on this one put it higher for me.
Yeah.
I love the Grosbeck goats. Alliteration's big.
Very, very good. Number 2.
This one should not be surprising. The Wampus Cats.
The Wampus Cats are unique.
They've got to. I feel like they're somewhere in everyone's top 10.
It's iconic. It's a uniquely weird mascot, which is perfect.
Yeah.
And shout out Itasca, the Wampus Cats.
That's another like the Bumblebees that there's a lot of different types of like cats, panthers or whatever.
A lot
like
of jungle
that.
cats.
Yeah. But this like specificity.
Yeah. Yes.
Makes it that much better.
And by the way, the fact that it's like a fictional animal too.
Yeah.
Is like that's great. I like that. And by the way, from what I understand, there are a couple other. I'm looking at this around here. I'm on the Wikipedia page. There's one in Idaho. There's one at Conway High School in Conway, Arkansas. Is the Wampus Cats. There's one in Oklahoma, Atoka, which I've gotten a ticket in. And then Leesville, Louisiana. So it's a lot of
flex.
Basically, it's almost all Southwest.
Yeah.
Right, with the exception of Idaho.
So because it comes from a folklore, right?
Yeah.
So it's got to be a Southern folklore type of thing.
It's apparently a lot of them trace it back to Cherokee mythology.
Okay, which would explain why it's in the South.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right, we've reached number 1.
Hamlin Pied Pipers. They're the Swole Pipers have been my favorite since I heard about it. Crazy unique. The logo itself is fantastic. Like that's another thing. There are some other ones I probably could have put in if I was just going off of logos. But the Swole Piper, it's just great. And the mascot itself, like the guy walking around in the actual mascot costume, it's fantastic.
Well, and there's a lot to like about it. beyond the fact, I mean, it's also, and this is again not to get too far into it, but this is from a legend from Germany. It was the Pied Piper of Hamelin.
Yeah.
And he ran the rats out of the town and stuff like that. And so a lot to like that, like they. And from what I understand, Hamelin does have a relatively like German like population, community, and so they would know that story, and although it's weird because like the story is actually about him like playing the flute and like leading them out, instead of like hulking up on them like, I'm gonna beat up these rats.
They said, let's take Hamelin Pied Piper and add a little bit of spice.
Add a little bit of spice. There you go.
So yeah,
Ashley Pickle's top 10 Texas high school football mascots. I like it.
Thanks.
It's a good list.
I thought long and hard about it, and I feel pleased with how this.
We have some good overlap. We don't have entire overlap.
Yeah.
You have some higher than I had it. But yeah, I think this is an excellent top 10 list. Good job, Pickle.
Thank you.
Done. Okay.
Yeah, I was. That was fun. It was hard. I will say some honorable mentions that I had already mentioned. I love the Sandies, Amarillo Golden Sandies. I think that's great. New Braunfels Unicorns, Go Corns, almost got put on there, but I saw that there's a private school in Texas that is also the Unicorns.
Is that right?
I believe so, but
that's probably true.
New Braunfels says Go Corns, so I always think that's really cool.
It.
But yeah, those are some honorable mentions that I know I missed.
Thank you, Pickle, for this informative and fun segment on Friday.